Hey guys, Jason here. So you've been told that you're coming back, right? That this life is a cycle, that the soul returns again and again like waves to the shore. And maybe you find that comforting, or maybe it actually haunts you like an invisible trapdoor onto your life, ready to drop you back into the fire the moment you think you've made it out. But here's the thing. The Bhagavad Gita never said reincarnation was your destiny. It says it's your programming. And there's a way out. You just have to be willing to question everything, especially the part of you that thinks it's you. This isn't about belief. This is about memory. Because somewhere inside of you, you already know this. So the Bhagavad Gita is not a book. It's a conversation between dimensions, really. A cosmic download kind of disguised as a battlefield chat. So Arjuna, the warrior, is actually breaking down. He doesn't want to fight. He sees his family on both sides. And in that moment of paralysis, Krishna, the charioteer, reveals the actual truth. So not the truth about war, not just about duty, but about the soul and what happens when the body actually falls. So this is what was said. Just as the boy passes into youth and then into old age, Krishna says the soul passes into another body. The wise are not deluded by this. Sounds like reincarnation, right? Case closed. Well, not quite. Because Krishna doesn't actually stop there. He's going and starts talking about what breaks the cycle. So this is what he says. The one who sees actions in inaction and inaction in action, that person is wise among men. Wait, like what? He's not just explaining rebirth, he's explaining how to actually hack it. So you see, the Gita itself isn't here to tell you that you're stuck. It's here to show you how to walk out of the loop, how to actually burn the karma code without adding more lines to the script. And it's not about being a good person. And it's not about ritual. It's not even about belief. It's about knowing who you are, beyond action. Because only the false self returns. The ego. The personality, the story you tell yourself in your head. And then the real self, the real one, it never went anywhere. It just forgot. So reincarnation in the Gita is not a moral feedback loop. It's a hypnotic projection system. A pattern of momentum, desire, fear, clinging. And then there's the actual hard truth. You're not reincarnated. You are not dreaming. And the dream keeps looping until you stop identifying with the dreamer. So let's actually talk about the mechanics here. So in the Gita, Krishna doesn't describe reincarnation as some mystical punishment or cosmic reward system at all. It's not like he's up there with a clipboard saying, lied to your cousin, you're coming back as a slug next. No, it doesn't happen that way at all. It's mathematically very, very precise. Karma is cause and effect. Yeah, of course, but not in a good versus bad way. It's more like actual momentum. Right? So each thought, intention, action is like a stone tossed into still water. The ripples go out, and when the body dies, if those ripples haven't stilled, if you're still vibrating with attachment, then you take form again. And not because you were bad, not because somebody judged you, but because you couldn't let go of being someone. So it's like an echo that doesn't know it's an echo. So it tries to keep making noise to prove that it's still alive. Like, I want closure. I need justice. I'm not done yet. Well, guess what? Boom! New body, new parents, new phone plan. Same old karma. So if we want to look at it very clearly, Krishna says this in chapter 4 and verse 9 of the Gita. So, one who knows the truth of my birth and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take birth again. That person comes to me. So not believes, not hopes, but knows. Because the truth of Krishna's birth is that he was never really born, and neither were you. So let's go even deeper. So why does rebirth even happen? What's the code underneath it? So here's actually how the Gita presents it. You act from desire. Desire creates attachment. Attachment generates identity. Identity needs a body to express itself. Boom. Rebirth. It's like a cosmic Mad Libs. You're now reborn as Jane, who desperately wants to get married and will continue chasing it through as many years until you realize it was all made up. Welcome back to samsara. No refunds. So in Sanskrit, the word for individual soul is actually jiva. It's the stream of personal identity that clings to the experience and says, I'm this is mine, I want more. But there's a deeper self, and the term for that is called Atman. It doesn't cling, it doesn't move, it doesn't even reincarnate, because it never actually left. The Atman is unchanging awareness, like a silent witness, no passport, no species, no beginning, no end. And here's kind of the final punchline. Only the fake you comes back. Yeah. The sacred little bundle of memory, trauma, and craving, that's who's doing the returning. Not you. So this is why Krishna says this. He says, weapons cannot cut the self. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot drown it. And wind cannot dry it. He's not being poetic again. He's being brutally, brutally clear here. You're not the body. You're not the name. And you're not your likes, dislikes, or even your spiritual journey. Those are just apps running in the mind. And when the system actually crashes, they reinstall on another device. Well, and of course, unless you realize you were never the device to begin with. But hey, don't worry, right? Rebirth isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. You don't need to wait for death. You get reborn every time you scroll too far on Instagram and forget what you were doing. So congratulations. A new incarnation. Welcome to your next karma loop. So then you have to ask yourself the question, what breaks the cycle? And Krishna, he says it very simply. He says, let go of the fruits of your actions. That's it. Not the actions, the attachment to the results. Act with clarity, without ego, without craving an outcome, and the wheel will start to slow. So he actually goes a little bit further and he says this, surrender all actions to me. With your mind fixed on the self, free from the expectation and possessiveness, fight. So fight what? What is he actually talking about? Not people, not even desire. So fight the illusion that you're a separate you, who has to win or lose. So in a world that was never separate to begin with. So here's the real truth, right? The truth, the whole cycle inside and out. You are not in samsara. Samsara is in you. The world of birth and rebirth, karma, time, suffering, gain and loss, it's all playing out inside the space of your own awareness. And the one thing it cannot touch is the awareness itself. And that's why Krishna isn't asking you to believe anything. He's telling you, remember. Remember what you are. The real you was never born. It doesn't come back. It doesn't need to, because it never left. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't end with good luck on your next incarnation. It ends with surrender. It ends with knowing who's dreaming. And when you know that, rebirth becomes optional. So yeah, that's right. Rebirth is like clicking accept all cookies on the universe terms and conditions without reading the fine print. But if you stop clicking, if you just stay still long enough, you start to hear something beneath the buzz of becoming. Silence. Not absence. Presence. And in that presence, there is no story, no next time, no next lesson, no spiritual progress bar, just the still, steady truth you've been running for a lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. You were never becoming anything. You were always being. So Advaita Vedanta says it absolutely directly. Brahman is real, the world is an illusion, the self is not different from Brahman. So in other words, rebirth isn't wrong. It's just happening to a character who doesn't actually exist. A bundle of thoughts being played over and over like a movie stuck on loop. The actor never leaves the screen until he realizes he's not the actor. He's the light behind the projector. So then what actually happens when you realize all of this? The body might keep walking, the voice might keep speaking, but you've exited the protocol. The rebirth program can't hook you anymore because you're not generating more data. No clinging, no identification, no karma tags attached. You become like a clear mirror, reflecting but not sticking, living but not grasping anymore, and appearing but no longer buying your own disguise. You become transparent to the actual dream itself. But you know what? That's okay, right? Let the world do what it does, and let karma, whirl like a storm around you, because you've stopped spinning. And when you actually stop spinning, you start actually seeing. And when you start actually seeing, you start laughing. Because the whole thing, this life, that life, the next life, was never a prison. It was an actual play. And you were never the actor. You were the stage. So no, you're not coming back, because there's no you to come back. Just this, pure awareness, right? Pure awareness, beyond time, beyond thought. You're already free. You're not trying to awaken. You're just remembering that you already were. And that is the end of the Rebirth Protocol. Namaste.